Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 8, Book 80, number 726. Narrated by Al-Aswad bin Yazid. Mu'adh bin Jabal came to us in Yemen as a tutor and a ruler, and we, the people of Yemen, asked him about the distribution of the property of a man who had died leaving a daughter and a sister. Mu'adh gave the daughter one half of the property and gave the sister the other half. Volume 8, Book 80, number 727. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's Apostle said, "Give the Farid shares prescribed in the Quran to those who are entitled to receive it, and whatever remains should be given to the closest male relative of the deceased." Volume 8, Book 80, number 728. Narrated by Husayd bin Shurahbil. Abu Musa was asked regarding the inheritance of a daughter, a son's daughter, and a sister. He said, "The daughter will take one half and the sister will take one half." If you go to Ibn Mas'ud, he will tell you the same. Ibn Mas'ud was asked and was told of Abu Musa's verdict. Ibn Mas'ud then said, "If I give the same verdict, I would stray and would not be of the rightly guided. The verdict I will give in this case will be the same as the Prophet did, i.e. one half is for daughter, and 1/6 for the son's daughter, i.e. both shares make 2/3 of the total property, and the rest is for the sister." Afterwards we came to Abu Musa and informed him of Ibn Mas'ud's verdict, whereupon he said, "So, do not ask me for verdicts, as long as this learned man is among you." Volume 8, Book 80, number 729. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet said, "Give the Farid the shares prescribed in the Quran to those who are entitled to receive it, and then whatever remains should be given to the closest male relative of the deceased." Volume 8, Book 80, number 730. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The person about whom Allah's Apostle said, "If I were to take a Khalil from this nation, my followers, then I would have taken him, i.e., Abu Bakr. But the Islamic Brotherhood is better," or said, "good," regarded a grandfather as the father himself, in inheritance. Volume 8, Book 80, number 731. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. During the early days of Islam, the inheritance used to be given to one's offspring and legacy used to be bequeathed to the parents. Then Allah cancelled what He wished from that order and decreed that the male should be given the equivalent of the portion of 2 females, and for the parents 1/6 for each of them, and for one's wife 1/8, if the deceased has children, and 1/4, if he has no children. For one's husband 1/2, if the deceased has no children, and 1/4, if she has children. Volume 8, Book 80, number 732. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle gave the judgment that a male or female slave should be given in cheeses for an abortion case of a woman from the tribe of Bani Lahiyan, as blood money for the fetus. But the lady on whom the penalty had been imposed died, so the prophets ordered that her property be inherited by her offspring and her husband, and that the penalty be paid by her asaba. Volume 8, Book 80, number 733. Narrated by Al-Aswad. Mu'adh bin Jabal gave this verdict for us in the lifetime of Allah's Apostle. 1/2 of the inheritance is to be given to the daughter and the other half to the sister. Suleiman said, "Mu'adh gave a verdict for us, but he did not mention that it was so in the lifetime of Allah's Apostle. Volume 8, Book 80, number 734. Narrated by Huzay, Abdullah said, "The judgment I will give in this matter will be like the judgment of the Prophet, i.e. 1/2 is for the daughter and 1/6 for the son's daughter and the rest of the inheritance for the sister." Volume 8, Book 80, number 735. Narrated by Jabir, "While I was sick, the Prophet entered upon me and asked for some water to perform ablution, and after he had finished his ablution, he sprinkled some water of his ablution over me, whereupon I became conscious and said, 'O Allah's Apostle, I have sisters.' Then the divine verses regarding the laws of inheritance were revealed." Volume 8, Book 80, number 736. Narrated by Al-Bara, the last Quranic verse that was revealed to the Prophet was the final verse of Surah An-Nisa, i.e., they ask you for a legal verdict, say, Allah directs, thus, about those who leave no descendants or ascendants as heirs. 4.176. Volume 8, Book 80, number 737. Narrated by Abu Hurairah, Allah's Apostle said, "I am more closer to the believers than their own selves, so whoever, among them, dies leaving some inheritance, his inheritance will be given to his asaba, and whoever dies leaving a debt or dependents or destitute children, then I am their supporter." Volume 8, Book 80, number 738. Narrated by Ibn Abbas, the Prophet said, "Give the Farid, the shares of the inheritance that are prescribed in the Quran, to those who are entitled to receive it, and whatever is left should be given to the closest male relative of the deceased." Volume 8, Book 80, number 739. Narrated by Ibn Abbas regarding the holy verse, "And to everyone, we have appointed heirs." When the emigrants came to Medina, the Ansar used to be the heir of the emigrants, and vice versa, instead of their own kindred by blood, Dawl el-Aram. And that was because of the bond of brotherhood which the Prophet had established between him, i.e. the Ansar and the emigrants. But when the divine verse, "And to everyone we have appointed heirs," 4.33, was revealed, it cancelled the other order, i.e., to those also, to whom your right hands have pledged. Volume 8, Book 80, number 740. Narrated by Ibn Umar, a man and his wife had a case of li'an, or malana, during the lifetime of the Prophet, and the man denied the paternity of her child. The Prophet gave his verdict for their separation, divorce, and then the child was regarded as belonging to the wife only. Volume 8, Book 80, number 741. Narrated by Aisha, Utbah bin Abi Waqqas said to his brother Sa'd, "The son of the slave girl of Zama is my son, so be his custodian." So when it was the year of the conquest of Mecca, Sa'd took that child and said, "He is my nephew, and my brother told me to be his custodian." On that, Abu bin Zama got up and said, "But the child is my brother, and the son of my father's slave girl, as he was born on his bed." So they both went to the Prophet. Sa'd said, "O Allah's Apostle, this is the son of my brother, and he told me to be his custodian." Then Abu bin Zama said, "But he is my brother and the son of the slave girl of my father, born on his bed." The Prophet said, "This child is for you, O Abu bin Zama, as the child is for the owner of the bed, and the adulterer receives the stones." He then ordered his wife, Sauda bint Zama, to cover herself before that boy, as he noticed the boy's resemblance to Utbah. Since then the boy had never seen Sauda till he died.